Well, Grace Ibrahim, call me crazy, maybe so, probably so, but I do believe it is indeed that time. Everybody's favorite time here. It's time for the Ask Bob segment, week by week, Tuesday after Friday. I tell you, fine folks, file in your questions. Submit them. Anything you want to talk about, Ask Bob. Here I am asking the first Ask Bob question of the segment here. This is coming from Chris Wellington of Phoenix, Arizona. Bob, what's the best movie you have seen recently? Geez, I saw this one, and knowing what I was going to answer, people aren't going to be thrilled about this. I probably will lose a couple listeners based off this answer, but I actually just saw Goodfellas for the first time. Just came over to Netflix, and even in the studio, I'm getting some eyes right now. And yeah, first time I saw that it came to Netflix. As you can imagine, absolutely loved it. Such a shame that I'm just watching that. But a thing that I noticed when I was watching the movie, a friend that recommended it to me was like, I can't believe you haven't seen it, sat down and watched with me. I don't like watching a movie with somebody who recommends it to you, because then they kind of keep tabs on you throughout the movie. You know how they really do, Al. They kind of watch you and like make sure you're enjoying it and kind of hype up different scenes. Just let me watch the movie.
Yeah. Then you have to fake that you're into it if you're not.
Totally.
They take like offense, like if it's their movie.
No doubt about it. Especially when it really gets bad. If it's a comedy.
Right.
Because then if they're laughing, they're almost upset that you're not laughing. And then they're wondering, why aren't they laughing? And then I'm wondering, are they thinking, why am I not laughing?
Totally.
You know what I mean? And they just kind of keep tabs on you throughout. So if anybody ever recommends a movie, I think I'd rather just watch it myself. And then if I want to double down, I got no problem watching the movie. But again, they hype up the scenes, and it provides a different perspective on watching it.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's like, it would almost be like if they cooked you a meal and then they sit there and watch it, like you eat it, and they're like, what do you think? It's like, you know,
right. Bite by bite.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just felt, you could feel the eyes. I mean, I'm trying to focus.
It's like, just let me enjoy this movie.
Totally. So it's a different vibe, but absolutely go ahead and book Goodfellas. Anything before that, Uncut Gems, how could you not love that? That was right up my alley. But yeah, watch movies solo. I think that's the way to go about it. Moving on here, next question for our very own Ask Bob segment. This is coming from Dylan Butler out of Medford, Oregon. Bob, I just started dating a girl that I really like. We are getting ready to leave Chili's the other day when she offered to order the Uber. I couldn't help but notice that she had a 2.4 Uber passenger rating. I know you have a strong stance on Uber ratings. What do I do from here? Dylan, I would advise you the same thing that I did to New York Jet football fans earlier in the show. Get the fuck out. A 2.4. That's not coming from one rating.
Oh yeah, that to me only means one of three things. Either she's a car puker,
right?
She's a really rude speakerphone talker, no consideration, or she was in a car just being like blatantly racist.
But you know what though? Even if you are a car puker, there's a polite way to go about puking in the car. Like, I guarantee you, and not to pat myself on the back, I could puke in my Uber ride on the way back. I still think I'll get 5 stars. Yeah. And I've had a strong stance on Uber ratings throughout the show, which is what Dylan referred to. I think the best way to judge a person just as a civilized human being is their Uber rating.
What's the lowest you would like? What's the lowest number someone could have, and you're still in?
That's a great question. I would go a 4, like a 4.1. Anything under a 4 is a problem. Look, you could have a bad day, you could have a bad conversation. That happens. I get that. What this Dylan Butler is dealing with right now on a 2.4. Do you know how many drivers she had to piss off for that?
Yeah, I mean the only thing that, or if she like used Uber once and had like a bad ride and never used it again, that's the only other answer.
Yeah, unless that's her second, or if she was a Lyft girl.
Right? Maybe she just or maybe she was a Lyft girl. It was so bad she switched and then she started off on the wrong foot with Uber.
Could definitely be, but then
Yeah.
she can't win Lyft and she can't win Uber. She might as well just drive herself.
I never thought about that. That's a great way to like judge someone's character, but it's a great thing to look at early on.
I think it is the best. I really do. I think it's just the best way to judge
Totally.
how a person is. Because if you can't sit in an Uber for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be, and just be respectful enough to where that person doesn't have a problem with you and just clicks that quick 5.
You know what the worst is? If you're in an Uber pool and someone's eating and it's like noisy food.
Stuff. But you know what, though? At the same time, that's not a rating that you have to worry about. If they want to do that, shame on
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that may affect their rating, but I just pray to God that has nothing to do with me because I'm not the one eating the sandwich in the
Sure.
pool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe I'll
Totally.
take a loaf of one of those sourdough breads with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, or even, in regards to this, Cold Cuts, Joey Cold Cuts, friend of the pod, friend of the show, we were in the car one day and he got into it with the driver over something so small, just putting his seatbelt on. And he thought the guy said it too early on in the ride,
Yeah.
where he
Wow.
needed a couple seconds to where he then puts his seatbelt on. Which, okay, yeah, he did come at him a little hot, but if you want to act that way, if you're Joey Cold Cuts, I told him, do it on your Uber account.
Right.
This is my Uber account.
That's such an interesting point. Yeah, it reflects on you.
Totally.
Wow.
I am hosting this ride. You better believe that you got. It's like walking into somebody's house.
Totally.
They're the host. Be respectful of them. That's my Uber account.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at a 4.8 right now, and I don't know for sure, but I gotta think that 0.2 is coming from Joey Cold Cuts.
Well, now on that point, maybe that 2.4, maybe she's got the wrong friends. Maybe she's a gem and she just was with the wrong crowd, got the Uber on behalf of everybody, and just felt like obliged.
Actually, I really like that stance on it. And I think we are giving her the benefit of the doubt. But with that being said, Dylan Butler of Medford,
Yeah.
Oregon, has got his hands full. I mean, he really does. Well, folks, bad news is that does it for us here, episode 44 of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Good news is Tuesday. Happy to announce we'll be able to release our one-on-one interview with the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. I told you earlier on that I like to have guests on that are wild cards, no filter, really just let it rip, let it fly. You can ask him anything, nothing's off limits. That is indeed what you get with the man himself, the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. We'll see you for that Tuesday. That's Grace Ibrahim behind the glass. Big Al on the ones and twos. I'm Big Game Bob. We will see you Tuesday, folks.